As US carriers and jets ring Iran from the Med to the Gulf, the IRGC's ocean-going flagship has slipped back into home waters, ready for whatever comes next. After 57 days at sea on BRICS-linked drills off South Africa, the Shahid Mahdavi has sailed home, showcasing how far Iran's navy can now roam beyond the Gulf. Iran's flagship has just crossed the Atlantic and rounded Africa, even as the USS Gerald R. Ford pulls into Suda Bay on Crete, bringing the two navies closer on the map. This floating drone and missile base is back in port just as US attack jets mass at nearby bases, raising questions about how Tehran might use it in any future clash. Armed with long-range missiles and drones, could a ship like Mahdavi one day shadow tankers, stalk carrier groups and stretch the war well beyond Iran's coastline? With more than 60 US jets at Jordan Salty Base and others in the Gulf, how seriously should Washington take the risk that Iran's new blue water assets might help target them? As talk of US-Iran war intensifies, the IRGC's ocean-going flagship has completed its cruise and returned to Iranian waters, adding another card to Tehran's maritime hand. Press TV reported that the Shahid Mahdavi has re-entered Iranian waters after 57 days at sea as part of a long-range task group deployment. The warship was coming back from joint BRICS-linked naval drills off South Africa, far from Iran's usual Gulf operating areas. Iranian media say Mahdavi sailed roughly 10,700 nautical miles, about 18,000 kilometers, as part of the 103rd Flotilla's voyage. The flotilla also featured the Army destroyer Shahid Mahdavi and the Makran forward base ship, underscoring the scale of Iran's blue water effort. Iranian outlets hail the mission as the IRGC Navy's first deployment into the southern hemisphere and its first Atlantic crossing. Mahdavi previously crossed the equator in 2024, a moment Tehran framed as symbolically breaking out of Iran's traditional regional cage. IRGC Navy Chief Rear Admiral Alireza Tangsiri has said his forces are ready to sail the oceans wherever Khamenei orders, presenting Mahdavi as proof. Tehran is touting the cruise as evidence it can project power globally even while US carriers mass uncomfortably close to its own shores. Shahid Mahdavi is a multipurpose long-range ocean-going warship that functions as a mobile sea base for IRGC Navy operations far from home ports. Its main role is to act as a floating base for offensive IRGC fleets, providing logistics, command and launch capacity in distant waters. Reports estimate the ship's displacement at roughly 2,100 tons, though Iran stresses its deck area more than raw tonnage. The converted vessel is around 240 meters long, giving ample deck space for aircraft, drones and fast boats. With a beam of roughly 27 meters, it has the footprint to host multiple systems and still operate in rough seas. Reports say Mahdavi fields a three-dimensional phased array radar plus upgraded electronic warfare and communication suites. The ship can carry large numbers of reconnaissance and strike UAVs, extending Iran's eyes and reach far beyond its coastline. It is fitted with cruise missile launchers reportedly capable of roughly 1,000-kilometer strike ranges against sea or land targets. Mahdavi can embark various attack helicopters and deck-carried fast attack craft, turning its top deck into a small mixed air-sea wing. The warship is believed to field sea-to-sea and sea-to-air missiles, giving it both ship self-defense and limited area defense roles. Sophisticated telecommunications and electronic warfare systems aboard allow jamming, command and control and data links with other units. Shahid Mahdavi formally joined the IRGC naval fleet in March 2023 and is now one of its most advanced ocean-going assets. Mahdavi joined Will for Peace 2026, a multinational BRICS-linked naval exercise off South Africa's coast in January this year. Iranian media present its role as proof Tehran can now sail nearly half the globe alongside partners like China, Russia, and South Africa. IRGC commanders boast that missile-carrying warships like Mahdavi extend Iran's reach to any desired spot in the world seas. Analysts say such deployments turn the IRGC Navy into a network of floating bases that can back forward offensive fleets and long-range missions. Mahdavi's return home coincides with US carriers, destroyers, and strike aircraft massing around Iran from the Gulf to the Mediterranean. On February 23, Reuters carried images showed the USS Gerald R. Ford arriving at Suda Bay on Crete, adding another flight deck to the region. American forces are now concentrated in Gulf waters, the Red Sea and the Eastern Med, readying options for possible strikes on Iranian targets. In a clash, ships like Mahdavi could stalk commercial tankers, shadow carrier groups, or join in salvo launches from beyond Iran's immediate coastline. With US air power surging and Iran fielding mobile sea bases, the maritime front is edging closer to the center of any future war scenario. New satellite imagery reveals a sharp surge in American air power at regional bases as tensions with Iran keep intensifying. The Financial Times reports that US jet deployments have expanded across strategic fields in Jordan and Saudi Arabia in recent days. At Muwafaq Salty Air Base, satellite and tracking data show aircraft numbers have climbed sharply compared with earlier this month. An independent tracker cited by the Financial Times estimates at least 66 fighter jets are now stationed at Salty, making it a key hub in any Iran fight plan.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.